Before we continue on in this film, I'd like to clarify the timeline of events that this film follows. The Iran hostage crisis that took place between 1979 and 1980 involved 52 hostages that were captured in the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. This lasted 444 days. This is not to be confused with the Iran-Contra affair. They're two different events. The Iran-Contra affair took place in 1985 under the Reagan administration, which involved the illegal selling of arms to the nation even after the Boland Amendments were passed. In the movie Argo, directed by Ben Affleck, the opening sequence describes the relationships between the U.S. and Iran before the Iran hostage crisis and the Iran-Contra affair. We just want to give you a brief history of the two nations to kind of explain what the situation was going on starting in 1979.
This is the Persian Empire, known today as Iran. For 2,500 years, this land was ruled by a series of kings, known as Shahs. In 1950, the people of Iran elected Mohammad Mossadegh, a secular Democrat, as prime minister. He nationalized British and U.S. petroleum holdings, returning Iran's oil to its people. But in 1953, the U.S. and Great Britain engineered a coup d'etat that deposed Mossadegh and installed Reza Pahlavi as Shah. The young Shah was known for opulence and excess. His wife was rumored to bathe in milk, while the Shah had his lunches flown in by Concorde from Paris. The people starved. The Shah kept power through his ruthless internal police, the Savak. An era of torture and fear began. He then began a campaign to westernize Iran, enraging a mostly traditional Shiite population. In 1979, the people of Iran overthrew the Shah. The exiled cleric Ayatollah Khomeini returned to rule Iran. It descended into score settling, death squads, and chaos. Dying of cancer, the Shah was given asylum in the U.S. The Iranian people took to the streets outside the U.S. Embassy, demanding that the Shah be returned, tried, and hanged.
Do you have what we requested?
We might. But that depends. Do you have one?
Mr. President, we have urgent news.
The embassy in Tehran has been taken over. We haven't had any contact. We think that they've taken hostages. What should we do?
Hostages, you say?
52, I believe.
Good grief. Have any ideas?
No.
Alright. This is your charter. Executive Order 12170. I want an embargo placed immediately on Iran. All assets frozen to the country. No money, no supplies gets into that nation without my say-so. Is that understood?
Yes, Mr. President.
I want a meeting of the Joint Chiefs acting on them immediately. I want them in my office now.
Hello?
President Reagan, this is McFarlane. We want to make sure the plan is a go. Please go ahead and do the plan. And just tell me how you feel about that.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, we might as well go ahead and do it. You got the green light, McFarlane.
Alright.
Make the trade. Remember, keep this quiet. The Bullen Amendment is kind of prohibiting us to really carry this out without keeping it so secret. So we just need to make sure it stays quiet. Got it?
Roger that.
Alright. I'll see you later.
See ya.
We need to do something about Reagan.
Uh-huh.
I think we should try to get some amendments passed. Maybe we can stop
Uh-huh.
him from funding money to Nicaragua. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's none of our business. Why can't we just leave them alone?
Uh-huh.
We find the Bullen Amendment in coordinates of the Constitution from now prohibiting the use of funds for the purpose of overthrowing the government of Nicaragua or provoking the war between Nicaragua and Honduras.
What are you gonna do about that, Nixon?
I call this court to order. Mr. North, no more stalling. We want to know the truth.
Where should I start?
From the beginning.
Alright. Look, this was originally McFarlane's idea. I really didn't have anything to do with this. It was all him. He came up with the idea of selling missiles to Iran. 1,500 last time I checked. He used the money, about 60% of the funds were diverted to Nicaragua to fund the anti-communist movement down there. I believe Reagan knew about it. He definitely knew about it. And Bush too, I would imagine, in a couple areas in his cabinet as well. After he resigned or whatever he did, quit, who knows, got scared, and took over his place and was dragged into this mess. So that's basically it, but Reagan does know about it, I'll give you that. So did Bush. And it's still going on, I imagine, so.
Mr. Oliver North, you were found guilty of 16 felonies today, and I convict you of accepting an illegal gratuity, aiding and abetting in the obstruction of a congressional inquiry, and ordering the destruction of documents via your secretary. You are sentenced to a 3-year suspended prison term, 2 years of probation, $150,000 in fines, and 1,200 hours of community service. Really?
You suck as an attorney. I'm never hiring you again.
Who cares? Get over it.
Hi, Mom. I'm kind of busy right now. What do you want? Yes, Mom, I remembered to get the eggs and put them in the refrigerator.
Put down your phone, you idiot. You're gonna get us all killed.
No, Mom, your cupcakes are not there. The store was out. They said it would be back Wednesday when you can go pick them up. Okay. I love you too, Mom. Bye.
So, how's y'all's day been going? Okay. Good.
When's our shift end?
I think in another hour.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, how's the wife?
Do you think we should check on the POW?
Nah, they're fine.
Okay.
I mean, no one interrupts my Jumex fruit.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they're fine. I mean, they're tied up really well.
Okay.
So, what y'all have for dinner tonight?
I'm not sure. It depends on what she makes.
Is she a good cook?
Yeah, most of the time. But I always say she's perfect. Always say that.
Good way to go.
It is. Keep it safe.
True. I mean, you could shoot her, I guess.
Oh, I would never do that. I love her so much.
Long live democracy!
Mr. President, we have urgent news.
We think that at the Iran...
Mr. President, we have urgent news. Okay, that was
That was horrible.
I'll call this court to order. Mr. North, we want to know.
We need Mr. North.
What's wrong?
I call.
I got it, Pablo. Don't worry.
I call this court to order.
You're like, you're like a gangster.
Mr. North, we want to know the truth now.
Where should I start?
From the big.
The Iran-Contra affair involved several hostages that were captured later in 1985. Shoot. Arms and munitions to Iran under. Before we continue on, I'd like to point out several key differences between the Iran hostage. I don't want to say hostage crisis took place in 1979 through 1980. It was in 1980. It involved 52 hostages. Before we continue on, I'd like to make a notice.
In the Constitution, constitutional with the now the use of funds up for purpose.
Dang it!